y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have a look at the Adventureland collection that's available right now from Sally Hansen in their Miracle Gel line. These polishes were sent to me for review, and I recommend watching all the way to the end to see how you can enter to win your own set. So these are available right now in Ulta's or your local drugstores, anywhere you like to buy polishes, as well as online. I'll try to link some places down below, and I'll go ahead and get right into this review. All of my swatches today will be shown with the Miracle Gel 101 top coat. This is the second step in their two-step system that's supposed to give you a gel-like finish that wears for a long time. I will not be able to speak to wear time today. I'm just going to be able to show you swatches. So first up is Sheer Happiness, and this is a very sheer baby pink jelly polish, perfect for anyone who likes to wear French manis, or even if you just like a nice, clean, classy look. This is a gorgeous polish. So I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Sheer Happiness swatched on my natural nail. So here's a look at that first easy coat. This one does go on a little bit streaky and extremely sheer. It definitely does need a few coats to build up to full opacity, but it's going to give you that nice clean look. I also want to mention that I do love the Miracle Gel brush. It's nice and wide, kind of like my favorite indies, how they have that wide brush. It makes application super easy. So here's a look at that second coat. I did go in a little bit thick there, but still have a good amount of nail line and also a little bit of streakiness. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how it builds up with a third coat. Again, I am going in a little bit thicker with this one, but 3 coats makes for a nice finish. I do still have some nail line, but it kind of gives you that sweet bubble bath type look, and it's going to be amazing for a French mani. So here's a look at that completed look at 3 coats before. Glossy top coat underneath my artificial lighting. This one does dry down nice and glossy. A good glossy top coat like the 101 top coat is going to help extend the wear time a bit though. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle under that same lighting. So next up is Beat, Pray, Love, and this is a beautiful dusty mauve color with a good amount of rose tones running throughout. Super beautiful. Definitely one of my top picks. This is just in a nice flat cream finish. I did have some discoloration there in the bottle. It didn't show during application at all, but I definitely do recommend giving your bottle a nice shake. So here's a quick look at that brush shot, and I'll show you how Beat, Pray, Love swatched on my natural nail. So here's a look at that first coat. This polish is so beautifully opaque. I think with a thicker kind of careful first coat, you could totally get away with just 1 coat of this polish. I did have a little bit of streaking there, especially when I capped the tips. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it builds up for me in a second coat. I did end up going in a little bit thicker than I intended here with this second coat, but it does for sure bring this one completely opaque. Again, I really think that this could be a total 1 coater, especially with careful application. So here's a look at that completed mani at 2 coats before. Glossy top coat under artificial lighting. It does dry down nice and glossy and a little bit darker than it applies as well. This is my swatch photo, and then once more at an angle under that same lighting. So next up is Ready, Set, Run, and of course this is a red, so it's going to be one of my top picks, but not only that, it is in a beautiful finish. It's a very bright, almost I would say blue-based red with a good amount of red glass fleck running throughout as well as shimmer. Super glowy on the nail, very beautiful. I'll go ahead and show you that brush shot, and then I'll show you how Ready, Set, Run swatched on my natural nail. So here's a look at that first coat. This one is extremely opaque. It also has a bit of a jelly type feel, so it's going to give you that lit from within type glow. 1 coat made for awesome coverage. However, since it is just a little bit squishy, a little bit jelly, it did have a little bit of nail line. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry and then show you how it builds up for me with the second coat. This second coat does for sure make it complete coverage. I did maybe have a tiny flash of nail line at certain angles, but for all intents and purposes, this was full opacity. So here's a look at that completed mani at 2 coats before. Glossy top coat under that artificial lighting. This is my swatch photo under that same artificial lighting. I think this would look really cool with a matte top coat as well. I have not tried that though. And here's one final look at an angle. So next up is Leave Me Be, and this is a deep olive, almost army green. It does have a touch of almost like a jade color in there as well. Very beautiful. Again, a nice just flat cream that's going to bring you all the way into the fall season. So I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Leave Me Be swatched on my natural nail. So here's a look at that first coat. This one goes on nice and easy. Again, that brush is amazing. This one was maybe a little bit streaky and a little bit sheer, almost has a jelly-like quality to it. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this coat, let it dry, and then show you how it builds up for me with a second coat. So here's a look at that second coat. This polish self-levels like a boss, so you don't have to worry too much about that streaking. However, this second coat does for sure bring this one completely opaque. Really gorgeous, another nice glossy finish. So here's a look at that completed mani at 2 coats before a glossy top coat. This is very deep and vampy on the nail, such a perfect fall color. This is my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle in that same lighting. So next up is Swim Upstream, and I was so worried about this one being a stainer. I almost used it last because it is just that pigmented. It is showing up a little bit more blue here than it is in person. It does have some deeper, dusky kind of teal tones. Again, a nice, beautiful cream finish. So I'll go ahead and show you a look at that brush shot. And I'll show you how Swim Upstream swatched on my natural nail. So here's a look at that first coat. This one is much like the others, maybe a little bit of squishy quality going in there, almost a jelly, but still really opaque. So a thicker coat makes for awesome application. I did have a tiny flash of nail lines. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it applies with a second coat. Again, the second coat for sure, no issues at all, brings this one completely opaque. I did not have any staining, but I did not also wear this for an extended amount of time, and I did swatch with a base coat. It is very pigmented, but again, it didn't stain my skin or anything. So this is a look at that completed mani at 2 coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting. It is pulling a little bit more blue here than it is in person for sure. So this is my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle under that same lighting. So next up is Wild for Violet, and this is a deep, vampy plum purple. So beautiful. I really want to wear this matte, especially coming up into the next autumn season. This is another just beautiful cream finish. So I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Wild for Violet swatched on my natural nail. So here's a look at that first coat. I did go in a little bit thin with this coat, so you can see it is pretty sheer here and a little bit streaky. I did go a little bit thicker on my other nails, and I definitely had better coverage. So I do recommend going in a little bit thicker with these. Not too thick. You don't want to flood your cuticles and spend forever trying to clean them up, but just a little bit thicker than I shown there. So here's a look at that second coat. Just a nice normal second coat brings this one to full coverage. This is another one that with careful application and maybe with a little bit of a thicker coat, you could totally get away with one, especially if you have shorter nails or less visible nail lines. So here's a look at that completed mani at 2 coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting. I am so head over heels for this color. This is my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle under that same lighting. So lastly today I have Adrenaline Crush, and this is the boldest shimmer from this collection, I believe. This is in a deep, dusky purple tone with almost platinum and gold type glass fleck shimmer in here. I don't have the official description, so I'm kind of just going by what I see. It is beautiful. That shimmer definitely translates well to the nail, and it is super bold. So here's a look at that brush shot, and I'll show you how Adrenaline Crush swatched on my natural nail. Here's a look at my first easy coat. I did go in a little bit thicker with this first coat than I really intended to. You can see I think I'm done, and I kind of let it sit there for a minute, but I did go in and smooth out that middle just to get a little bit of that excess polish off. However, the coverage on this is amazing. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it builds up with the second coat. I don't really need that. I was worried maybe a little bit about brush stroking, but they kind of mellow out on their own. So I really think you could totally get away with just one coat of this polish as well, especially a thicker coat. So here's a look at that completed mani at 2 coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting. This one did dry down maybe a little bit dull, so I do recommend that 101 top coat. This is my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle in that same lighting. So that wraps up today's swatch and review of the Adventureland collection. If you can't wait, these are available right now. However, if you'd like to enter this giveaway, there are a few rules. I do need you to follow Sally Hansen on Instagram. I'll leave a direct link down below. A big huge thank you to them for sponsoring this giveaway. If you'd like, you can also comment on this video, and I'll count that as an entry, and I'll also count a repost on Instagram. I'm going to put up a picture of this collection with some of the giveaway information. If you share that on Instagram, leave me that in a comment down below as well. This giveaway is only open for my U.S. followers. I'm so sorry to my internationals, but I'm only sponsored for a U.S. giveaway this time. I'll leave it open until the 8th at 12 a.m. Central Standard Time. Then I'll email the winner and announce it down in the description box below. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to see more photos, I do have those available on my blog at sloppyswatches.com, or you can also follow me on Instagram at sloppyswatches. So thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.